Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance. Today's tour review is going to be a couple lights from Wuben. Actually, it's the same exact light, just a couple different versions of that light, and that is the Wuben X2 Pro. Now, they did send me both of these out, so I am marking it paid promotion, but they're not paying me. I'm not sponsored by them, all those kinds of things, but they did send me these lights for free, so that's why I'm marking it paid promotion. So what we're going to look at today is the Wuben X2 Pro. I have two different versions here that they offer. This is the RGB version, and then they also offer a UV version. That's basically the secondary light. So for the most part, these are both identical lights except for that secondary light. So I'm really going to only cover one of them for the most part, and then I'll show you how the other one is different. But all the features and all those kinds of things are exactly the same on the main light. It's just that secondary light's a little bit different. So these are going to run you, it's $65.99 is their regular price on Amazon, but they have a 30% off coupon. That puts it right around 46 bucks for either one of these. That's what that ends up costing. I have two of these. I don't need two of these, so I'm going to end up giving away the RGB version. I'll have details in the description below, and then also I'll talk about it at the end of the video if you want to stick around for that. But first, we'll start out by talking about what you get in the box. I'll go over the features in which they're the same, and then I'll show you the difference between the RGB and the UV version. But let's go ahead and jump into what you get in the box. So for this review, I'm primarily going to use the RGB version because it's white. I think it's going to be a little easier for you to see some of the details and stuff like that. The black one I have there is the UV version, but they offer both options in the black or the white. So you can get a white UV version if you want one. You can get a black RGB one if that's what you want. That's the options that you can have. Well, in the box, you're going to get a USB-C cable. They provide you with that to charge it with. The charging port is right here, USB-C. You can see that there, and it's got that little cover that you can just snap back in place and cover that up to keep that protected as well. They do also provide you with this wristlet that would go through this hole right here if you want to use it for that. I primarily never use those, but some people do, so it's a good option that they provide it with. They also have what they're calling a helmet mounting clamp right here. And basically what this is they have this belt clip right here, so you can put that on your belt, whatever you might want to do with that. You could probably also possibly put it on a hat, wear it as a headlamp if you want to, although I feel like it's a little bit heavy of a light for that, but that's an option that you could do. But they do provide you with this. They're calling it the helmet mounting clamp. I don't have whatever type of helmet you would use this with, but basically there's a little groove in there that kind of lines up. It's form fitted to match up with this. So basically if I slid this on something and then I took and slid this on, they also give you the second half that you're going to put on there, snap that together. That's going to lock that in place. There's a screw that you put in right there, and basically whatever you put that on, it's now going to be locked in there to where this won't be able to slide off. That's the idea behind this, but again, it may be for a biker or something like that if there's a way to mount it onto your helmet. That's how you would use that. Now, this piece right here that comes with it, I found a little bit interesting. It's basically the tactical switch is what it's called, so it's a push-button switch, as you can see right there. That goes on here, so it does have removable batteries. Some of the Wubens don't have that, but this one does. You can see a lock and unlock. So right now it's on unlock. If I press this button, it's going to open up the battery compartment. And if I look inside of here, it comes with two batteries. These are 920 milliamp hour batteries, 3.4 as far as that, and it's 14500 3.7 volts. It does come with two of those, but in order to put this tactical switch on, you basically open it. You can see there's kind of like a slot right there and then grooves right in here. It just slides right into place, and then whenever you snap that shut, you've now got a push button on here, which I'll show you in a little bit how that works. So but you are provided with that tactical switch. I'll go ahead and slide that back off. So again, this does come with two batteries like this. One nice feature about these are you can use these batteries, but you can also put in AA batteries if you want to and use that while you're working on charging these, or maybe you've got some other batteries that you want to use. Shut that up. If I press this button on, you can see it does power up with AA batteries as well. So this has a lock and unlock button. Right now it's unlocked. If I slide it to locked, then I press this button, it won't open up. Slide it to unlock, open that up. I can change out those batteries. I'm going to go back to the Wuben batteries as far as for the review purposes. Snap that back into place, lock it in. So that's a nice feature as well. But that's kind of all the accessories and what you get in the box, those kinds of things. Function-wise, again, on this light, you basically have a side light and then a main light. The main light's max lumens is 1500 on turbo, and the side light's max lumen is 400. And then also you have the RGB version on this one, and then the UV version on the side light on that version right there. Functions-wise, you have a lock position. So right now, nothing's going to come on because I have it in the lock position on this switch. I can go up one. That's going to be that side light. I can turn that on. Right now I've got it on the white light, and then to adjust that light, you just use this knob right here and turn it. So I can go from brighter to lower. It goes from 5 lumens to 400 lumens. So there's no swapping through and holding a button or anything like that. You have a switch right here that adjusts that light. Now if I want to swap over to the RGB version, I'm just going to press and hold this. That's going to change to the color, and then you adjust the colors the same way you do the white light. You just scroll through whatever color that you want to get to and get to it in that way. So that's the side light on this version. Now if we go over to the UV version on this one, put it on the middle light and turn this one on, I've got the UV light. I can press and hold and go to the white light, and again, I adjust it the same way, 400 to 5 lumens, depending on how you want to use that, or press and hold and go to the UV light. So that's essentially the difference between these two right here. UV light on this one, and then the RGB light on this one as far as the side light. The main lights are exactly the same. So if I swap over to the main light, press that on, I've got, again, on this one, let me go ahead and see if I can get to low first. That should be low right there. So that's going to be that 15 lumens, medium, 150 lumens, high is 400 lumens, and then turbo is going to be 1500 lumens. And what this one does with this switch is, let me go ahead and click it, and you can kind of maybe see if I scroll, there is a floodlight and then also a spotlight. So I can go back and forth between floodlight and spotlight as I scroll that little button. So this one doesn't adjust the lumens. On this one right here, you have to press and hold to swap between low, medium, high. What this does with that main light is swap between flood and spotlight, which I'll show you here in a minute in the dark. So the only other feature when it comes to the light itself is that this side light also has a tilt mode right here. It only tilts 20 degrees, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it actually makes quite a bit of difference. Let me go ahead and kind of swap back to that, and we'll see if we can get it to where I change my lights here in the shop. I'm going to turn off this main light. Let me turn on that side light, turn it on the white light. Maybe you can see there's all the way down right there, and if I tilt it all the way up, it goes up to that high. So quite a bit of adjustment, even though really it doesn't look like it actually changes that much right there, but the light itself actually changes quite a bit as far as the angle that you're at. So the last feature before I show it to you in the dark that most people would be interested in, I think, is this tactical push button. So again, to install this, I'm going to open the battery compartment, slide it on that cover, shut it back. That's going to lock all that into place and allow that not to pop out. Of course, you might want to lock your battery compartment. So this only controls the main light. It does not control the side light, and it's basically just an on-off button. You can't adjust the settings of your light using this or while you've got this on. So again, right now I've got it on the side light setting. I can press this button all day long. It's not going to do a single thing, not going to turn it on at all. Versus if I slide it up to that top setting right now, I can basically press this button. It's going to turn it on, press it and turn it off, or I can kind of barely press it and it will light it up, and then I can let go, so that way I'm not clicking it. So if I just want to barely press it just to light up something real fast and then turn it back off, I can do that as well. Now again, you can't adjust the settings while you've got it on using the tactical push button. So I turned it on. I can scroll this. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't change the settings. So in order to basically have the settings at whatever you want it to for the tactical push button, you've got to turn it on here, adjust to whatever setting, flood, or spot that you want, adjust to whatever lumens that you want, and then as you turn that off, now whenever I turn it back on back here, it's going to be on whatever those settings are. So no adjustment while you're using the tactical push button, but I think it's still a nice option to be able to give people to be able to use a flashlight, you know, like this, to turn it on and off, or to just barely press the button and get the light where you need it and then turn it back off without having to click it. But again, that's pretty much all the features. Main difference, UV, RGB, but let's go ahead and let me show it to you in the dark. So I'm going to start out with the two lights as far as the different settings. So right here is the UV light. You can kind of see that purple haze. This is something that's not going to show up real well. You can see my microfiber cloth maybe over there, but anything white is showing up in person to me. It's not going to show up very well through my phone, but again, basically looking for stains or whatever else you're going to look for. Versus I can go over to this one, which is the RGB one. So right now I'm kind of on a yellow color, but I can scroll. There's a purplish blue, red, greenish right here. So again, just swapping through all those colors however you want to do that. Again, that's the main difference between these two, UV and RGB. Now let me show you the main lights. So staying on that side light, again, I'm going to press and hold and swap over to the main light, and now it is a scroll. If I scroll down all the way, it's going to blink when I'm at that lowest setting. So here's that 5 lumens. And then I'm going to basically adjust that up. It will blink again once I get to the max right there. So there's 400 lumens. This is the max setting of that side light right there. So that's the side light. So now onto the main light. I'm going to press the button. I'm in low mode, and this is flood mode, but I can also turn that dial forward. You'll see that spotlight kind of slowly appear. And once you get to the farthest setting, it will blink. So right now I'm on low spotlight, and then I can back it out and go to flood, or I can press and hold it, go up to medium. There's medium. And again, I can also bring that in as well, and then back it back out. It blinks whenever you get to the farthest setting. Press and hold it on high. So there's high spotlight. Back it out into the high light right here. And then again, you can also go into turbo mode with this. That's the 1500 lumens. If you double press it, that lights up plenty for sure. And you still have the ability to adjust between spot and flood just by turning that knob right there, even on turbo mode. So lots of options with this light as far as light setting, as far as lumens, spotlight, floodlight, all those kinds of things, the tactical button. There's just lots of options for this. Overall, in my opinion, I think it's a pretty good light. But there you go, guys. There is the Wuben X2 Pro RGB version, also UV version. Again, they have white and black in either or, so if you want one or the other, you can get that as well. Lots of nice features. I really like lights that have lights on the front and also a side or a tilting head. Some way that you can get light in either direction. That's always nice. I do kind of like this tactical push button. I will probably put that on mine and leave it on there. And again, they sent me 2 of these. I don't need to. I'm going to give away this RGB version, so if you're interested in that, unfortunately, I am going to limit this one to the lower 48 because it has a battery in it. That's kind of my rule. If it's got a battery, I'm going to do that because it gets outrageous, and they act like you're doing something crazy if you want to ship something with batteries overseas. So I am going to limit this one. I hate to do that, but that's what I'm going to do. So if you want to win this and you are in the lower 48 of the United States, just put the hashtag Wuben with your comment, and then during a live at some point in time, I will do a random comment generator, and I will pick the winner, and I will get this shipped out to them. So again, let me know in the comments below. These have been out for a little while now. If you've picked up one since they released them, let us know in the comments below how well they've been working for you, those kinds of things, how you use them. Help everybody else out by hearing your opinion and not just mine. That's always helpful. But you guys can let me know what you think about them in the comments below. As always, I hope this video was helpful. Hope it was useful. You guys stay safe. Have a blessed day. I'll see you on the next video.